Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Please confirm in the chat that you can hear and see just fine. Shaykh Abu Isa will be joining us shortly, inshallah. Okay, seeing people responding to my salams, alhamdulillah. Okay, alhamdulillah. So, Shaykh Abu Isa will be joining shortly, inshallah. Let me actually start the recording. Just give me a moment, please. Let me actually lock the door so that nobody comes in. I'll be right back, sorry. Just so that we don't get disrupted. Okay. And start the recording. Oh, it started, alhamdulillah. And we will get started shortly, inshallah. Shaykh will be going over the instructions for phase 3, inshallah, giving details about when we can expect things to go live and what you should have prepared and everything that you need to know. So I'm assuming that most of you in here will be phase 3 people or helpers. I know a lot of people from phase 1 were saying that they are willing to help, inshallah, those who weren't able to book last time. So it'll be good for those people to tune in and understand everything that needs to be done ahead of time, inshallah, or what the game plan is for phase 3, inshallah. Shaykh, I don't know if you're ready to start or if you want me to,
No, we're good. We're good. Thank you very much. Barakallahu feekum. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك يا رب الكريم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Good evening, all folks in UK, Europe, and all of those places, and then good afternoon to the folks in the States and Canada. And inshallah, so today we've got quite a few things to cover. I'm hoping that the audio and the video is good. I've been doing some kind of, digging and researching, whatever, and it's definitely not our side, meaning that it is Telegram not being on top form, frankly. But it is what it is. I was going to, so we have a surprise as well today, alhamdulillah. We have Dad, can you tell me the practicalities of how that's going to work? How will he be able to join and screen share and demo? Yeah.
The audio just cut. Who is this that you're referring to?
I said that Shan will be joining us to do a live demo.
I need to make him admin on the channel then. So let me see.
And does that and that can't happen live, huh?
What do you mean?
Meaning that if he joins as a normal person, then how would you?
Oh, you know what? I think I can invite him as a speaker if he's.
Yeah, you look into that in the meantime. I don't think that he is in this channel. Whatever.
You know what? I'll send you a speaker link, invite link for a speaker, and we can try that. If that doesn't work, then I can make him admin, inshallah.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. So you can just do that directly to the WhatsApp. That's fine. So folks, the plan is let me just.
Let me know if that doesn't work. Then I'll add him and make him admin, inshallah.
And this will do exactly what? What will this do?
Well, I'm assuming it says when I click on invite members, it gives me the option to copy a listener link and copy a speaker link. So I'm assuming when you send that to him, he'll be able to join as a speaker and he'll have all the permissions to do what admin can do, but let's see. I haven't ever tried it before.
Got it. All right. This is only for those that are trying to secure their place in phase 3. Okay. There's 2 aspects to this. So everyone who was in phase 1, you guys can have another night off. And those who are in phase 3, then you need to listen carefully. And we need to divide this into a general address, which I'll start off at the beginning. And then we need to speak about 2 plans, a very straightforward one, and then the bespoke one, and that's basically the new global plan. So let me start off at the beginning and say, Alhamdulillah, that the new plan has been accepted. It has been confirmed. I have actual details now of the global package, but we do not have it authorized by Nusuk yet. And that could happen either by tomorrow night or later. And you might be thinking, what do you mean later when we're meant to be going live? As per the ministry's statement of the 20th of Sha'ban, long time ago, they kind of suggested that the 20th of Sha'ban would have some kind of significance. I have a feeling there is no official statement. There is no announcement whatsoever. I have a feeling it's not going to go live on Wednesday, right? I have a feeling it's not going to go live from Wednesday. That's my experience speaking, all right? I didn't like it the first time round. Don't ask me for any evidence because it's not a statement of authority, neither on behalf of AlBait, neither on behalf of a Nusuk or the Ministry of Hajj. This is me. I don't think it's happening on Wednesday, okay? And 1 or 2 people that I rely upon who aren't in the headlines and aren't the big senior figures, who are, in the kind of, in the comms part of, not comms, the technical side of things, they kind of feel the same. Which is why it does not go live, and it might be that we don't even receive the global details, the package details, the new AE plan, as we're calling it, the new AE global plan. For all of those that didn't get a place in especially Americans and Canadians, but also all the rest of the people around the world, and also will give an option for some of the UK folks, although that's not what they should be focusing on. All right, the UK folks should not be focusing on that unless you are in a very specific extreme case, which I'll speak about in a minute. So the big news, effectively, is that my personal feel, how confident? I want to say 30%. So not very confident, but significant enough for me to basically put out. And of course, you can imagine how many tens of thousands of people are waiting for that, right? And so asking anybody anywhere, when's it going to go live? It's a complete nobody that wants you to know more about when it goes live than all of the Hajj companies, the Hajj partners, the Hajj providers, the AlBaits, the X, the Y, the Z. So they will definitely let you know. A working model for Wednesday is a good, safe approach. But I want to say in the back of the head, back of the mind, and in my heart, I have a feeling that it won't. Let alone the mixed messaging as well. And today Nusuk released a tweet, and these are often the only way that they kind of confirm official things, stating that book your package because it's going to close soon. You can read this in 2 ways, right? You could read this as that the next phase is going to be launched very, very quickly, or you could read it in the exact opposite way, which is that they have no intention to actually do a phase 3, and that there is no intention to add any more visas and the like. That for me is very difficult to believe. Yeah, the second one, even though the messaging would indicate that, I find it very difficult to believe. And that is because even though there's not that many thousand visas left after phase 2, but there are still some left. And they have already verbally, in front of the cameras, committed to reallocating those visas, even if it only led to 2,000 for the whole world. It's still going to go back. Nobody is buying any more packages from those countries. Like, if that message was aimed at the European countries and the smaller countries that your time's running out or the packages are running out, well, factually, let's look at that statement. Packages are not running out. The packages are thousands. There's over 4,000 packages or something like that, right? So loads of packages. So that's obviously not running out. And the time is not running out. It was a good few days ago, Friday, right? It went live phase 2. It's now 5 days on. And clearly, and this is exactly what happened last year, by the way. It happened exactly like this last year. It just drags on, drags on, drags on. The remaining kind of packages are not the ones that people want to go with. Those that don't have a guide, those that are, very much do it yourself for the very experienced kind of people. So they're going to just drag on. So what is the point of that statement? So I do believe that there will be a phase 3 and maybe even further phases as well. So I don't think that it's over at all. However, I just want to say that they are being very coy over a day and a date and a time. So it looks like that they're not going to hit that Wednesday day. But I also want to tell you that what was understood from a certain meeting recent to give much notice as well. It's very weird trying to read the ministry, to be very honest. It is absurd, but we can't say these things and, all the rest of it. We've got to show respect, blah, blah, blah. So, all right, that's fine. It is what it is. We just have to deal with the circumstances that it is. It puts everyone in such a difficult position, not just you folks, but us as well as a team. And everyone obviously is working full time and having to try to change plans very quickly and get things done on the fly. It's very stressful actually for us, but even more stressful for you guys because ultimately this is your one shot at Hajj. Otherwise, you wouldn't have given everything to go for 2025. You'd be just like, forget this nonsense, I'll just go for 26. So I can imagine, and I can imagine how stressful it is for you all. So it's just having to be patient with a system which, no point me cussing it anymore. So far, Telegram seems to be smooth. And Nusuk, we don't want that to crash again, blah, blah, blah. So takeaway that is going to go live. We still do not know any of the facts or details about how and what it will look like in terms of the structure of the page, right? But Shan, inshallah, is going to come on. And one thing that he can do that all of us can't do, because we usually use like not a dummy account, but we use like somebody's account that has access to existing packages. And you'll know, all of you folks in the UK, US, Canada, that we can't see anything because we are countries that our quota has run out and we are restricted in what we can see. And the whole point of phase 3 is that it suddenly opens up and then we can see global packages and the like. Everything that you see there is grayed out. We can't access any of it. So the question is, how can we do that? Well, if you have an account that belongs to someone in one of the smaller countries and their quota is still alive, they can still see the package. And if they can see the package, then they can go in. And if it's a global package, then Mosafer is going to be in there. So today's webinar, the video that I posted earlier on, which all of you should watch, okay? And study and understand. Obviously, remove they've already booked and we're still waiting. They're already booked and we're still waiting. The guy increased anxiety to 0 to 1,000 for all of our folks in America and Canada and those who are going for the global package. But the point was well made that this is obviously not our first choice plan, but this plan now for the extra folks that want to get in is actually a blessing because it's either that or nothing. And I don't believe that there's going to be the rush in phase 3 that caused all of the problems in phase 1. Just going by last year, that's all, right? And phase 2 as well, it starts to drag, and phase 3 will be in that way. I don't know. We don't know, but that's our call. That's our plan. So the key announcements are then that we do not know that a date. We are not sure if it's going to be Wednesday. I have a feeling it's not going to be. We have no idea about the time, afternoon, evening, if it happens. I think Friday or Sunday is a good candidate. That's purely from my own pocket. But then I'm only 30% on the day changing. So don't take any of that seriously. We do have a new program, and that's going to be something I'm going to be looking at, the details that we have. We do not have the code. We will release that and then do a webinar on the thing. So you have to keep tuned into the channel for whenever we go live. And this program is basically the one that's going to suit all of the newcomers that are joining this for the first time, that don't have any idea what's going on, right? And over the last 24 hours and the next 24 hours as well, we are calling everybody that has previously registered on a commitment form. And there are two types of form. There were those that were focused on the existing UK package, the A14U AE UK package, the one that's still got London and Manchester flights, the one that's still got number of rooms. Okay, so that's obviously one plan, one strategy, and I want to focus on that. Whereas all of the people that have just joined and the like, you're going to be going for the new global plan, which is the same package essentially. We're going to try to kind of merge it together as best as possible. I'm going to show that practically right now as well. But the point is that if you haven't received a phone call, wait for your phone call. You're not all guaranteed to receive a phone call. You're not, but you don't need to worry. If you do not receive a phone call, then what are you doing? You are either A, sticking to the same strategy that you were in phase one. So when you were told in phase one, target London second flight double, or target Manchester flight 3 quad, you're sticking to it. Unless you get a phone call from us that tells you what else to do. That because you've already seen your name mentioned, you already have a general kind of strategy, not a general strategy, a specific strategy that worked, mashallah, fantastically in phase one for everybody that used it, other than those folks that literally couldn't get in. So you're either, that's one reason that you might not get a phone call, and if you don't, you revert back to that. The other reason you might not get a phone call is because you're brand new, you're just joined, or you just joined in the last week, or you just joined in the last 1-2 days, and you're getting yourself used to Telegram, and you're not used to what's going on and the announcements, and you haven't filled any form. And so for you folks, okay, we have left a bit of wiggle room in the strategy to allow anybody that's seeing this webinar for the first time, anybody that's not got their name on any kind of thing, for you guys, you can go and apply for any airport, any room in the UK package and or in the global version of it, which allows you to get flights from your own city, which is going to be preferable. All right. So just making that statement. So everybody pretty much waiting for phase 3 is going to get a phone call, nearly everybody. And if you don't need to panic and say, where's my phone call? Blah, 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 blah. One of the problems that we're having is that people have put wrong numbers down. That's another reason you're not getting the phone call. Team have spent a lot of time trying to contact folks, and a lot of time has been wasted because numbers and digits are missing, which is worrying because this is crunch time. And you've seen some pretty poor form filling that has delayed a lot of things over the last couple of days as well. However, let's not cry over spilt milk. Done is done. What we're now going to look at now is the plan now for the UK. This is as simple as it gets. All right. For the UK, you are still focused on A1400U. You will either, when Nusuk goes live, have a chance to reconfigure and check things beforehand, or you won't. Last year, we didn't. Last year, not only did you not get a chance to reconfigure and check things, actually everybody's carts had been reset. So you had to re-go and configure everything. And that means that the short links become very, very important. And so all of the instructions that we've been given so far, which is to have a browser or multiple browsers on multiple devices, it doesn't matter. And so when you've got a browser and you have your window open, you're going to create tabs. So open up another tab, open up another tab, open up another tab. And in each tab, you would put a link in each one. What link? The link of the actual package that you are going for. For example, the UK link, right? So all folks in the UK are going to put the UK link in the tabs, just to have it there, so that you've got options to play around and to look and whatever. They all come into their own. They all come into their own. But also from a UK point of view, you would also have another link with a global package will have plenty of space, right? It's good news actually on the global package, the global version. It's got more space, and we've been able to be very specific with its bed allocation and everything. So you'd have that link open as well, the short link. And remember, these links are not meant to work. They're just meant to be there, right? You're only going to work once you've logged into Nusuk on your main tab. Once you've logged into Nusuk on your main tab, then you can go to the other link and refresh it, and then it will load up directly. And then you go to the other tab and you press refresh, and then that will then load up its location. So it will load up one package there, whilst you're still operating in your main tab. This is just common sense. This is following all the tips we've been speaking about, the documents that have been shared on the group, and whatever. So all of these, obviously you'll have your email open up in another tab, and you might reproduce this on other devices. You might have multiple people, but only one person is getting in at one time. So it doesn't really matter, okay? It's just that you need to have, things close by, options close by. You're going to, this is for everybody, whatever program you're going to be going for, you're going to be utilizing all the lessons that we've been learning. The most important about the OTP is that when you send it, you should just look and you should get it pretty smooth. That's what happened in phase 3 last time. But if you don't, and it's starting to play games, then you can try this, press right click on my profile and new tab and start another one and get the OTP, the first one that comes, and put it into that second tab window instead. You can try it. For as many people as it worked for was equal to as many people that it didn't work for. This is not some kind of hack, right? It just worked for some people and it didn't work for others. So it's not a game changer as such as people were made out to believe, because it's one of those things of stats. A number of people use VPNs and they're convinced that it was using a VPN that helped them. Whereas actually common sense would suggest that a VPN wouldn't work and help you at all in any way, right? So exactly how, to crack the system. And we don't need to worry about cracking the system, right? So let's just stick to the plan. Once you're in, now we're sticking back the UK folks, you're going to go in, and based upon the phone call that you receive or what you were told previously, just focus on the flight that you were told, or the flight that you have been told right now on the phone call, bespoke, which tells you you're going for London 2, you're going from Manchester 1, blah, blah, blah. Being adjusted, okay? If it hasn't been adjusted, it's because it didn't need to be adjusted. If it's being adjusted, it's because of the stats that we've got together, and we now know which flight is not going to win, which is not going to work, which flight is just only got one seat in it, it's going to mess everybody up. So, go for the ones which have got heavy seats left, 30 there, 20 there, etc., etc., etc. And you're going to go for the room that you need to. We've been given very specific rooms. There are some double rooms left, and that is still part of the strategy. Go to quads, and there's quads. There's enough to cover the remainder of the spaces and the remainder of the people in our group. So our promise still runs true. Everybody that followed our instructions and that they were sincere about this, and I mean sincere. And what do I mean by sincere? That we are not forcing anybody to go with us. But one thing that we are forcing is that when you swear that you're only going with us, and then you make us spend our time then creating strategy for you specifically, and then in the middle of that, you decide to pursue a different program and don't tell us, okay, then not only is that very questionable ethically in terms of what you're doing to the rest of the group and us in terms of strategy, but also it's weird then that afterwards, because you're listening to 2-3 different voices in terms of strategy, then everybody will have their strategy aimed at their program. Because you're not getting the full picture and focus on one strategy, you mixed up thing. I've spoken to him, had this confused thing, went for a different approach, didn't get into any program. Ended up not getting into any of them. They jumped ship and they whatever. So it's very important that this is not necessarily me calling to this program per se, but it's saying that when I said that you give your commitment, it's not because I'm taking some blood oath and I want you to give bay'ah to me as the Khalifa. It's because we are going to put the effort in to create a strategy that is going to work for you and that's going to affect everybody else, right? That's what I want you to appreciate, all right? So stick to the strategy or let us know that it's not happening. And please do that either before you get a phone call. Just message any one of the admins. Wallahi, we will respect and honor you and appreciate you for doing that. I don't know whether we're giving off the wrong vibes. It might be. You know, I get that. So I just want to emphasize that we're absolutely just trying to do this for you, sentimental or whatever. But the only reason, and there are many voices I can tell you that question this approach, right? The only reason that we put on this effort, big pain for us to create an extension, right, was to not let down the people that had been with us from the beginning. And for them to, whatever they say, whatever happens on the Day of Judgment, at least they will not say that AE and his team skanked us. They threw us under the bus, right? So that I can go to sleep. That's it. That's what we did it for. We've never done that before. Never. Not only never done that before, I'm going to get my face smacked by Danish because he keeps reminding me that I made that promise, that I said that I will never, ever do 2 packages. And if I ever do, then slap me across the face with a wet kipper. Now, Danish, of course, desperate just to slap me, is reading this as 2 programs. Obviously, he knows in his heart he's got no legs to stand on. This is no case for him. There's not 2 programs here. It's 1 program. It is the same everything, just obviously with the Azizia 2 nights. He's using that as justification, as a slap across the face. So this is how the position that we're in. We've got our honor and izzat, and my face on the line here. But it is what it is. UK folks, it's very straightforward. You're going to select the group flight, the custom flight, which is there. You're not going to have to mess around with Mosafer. So everything that Shan was telling you about how great and amazing and fantastic a position you are, that obviously applies to you guys. So well done on that front. As for the other side, now it's the global. Let's go through some facts that we now know. So in the best of all thingies, let's see if this works. So can you guys see all this, or am I just dreaming?
Desktop.
Was that yes with that?
Yes, I can see your desktop and now the itinerary.
Okay, great. So how were we able to do this, right? The way that we were able to do this is that this program, we basically we got them to convert it and change it into a global package with some changes. Okay, it might even be that this name stays the same, by the way, right? Or slightly changes. This A2410U, the one that's here. Does my cursor work, by the way? Can you see that with that? My cursor. And are people on the group seeing it as well?
Yeah, you can all see it.
All right. So this code might actually even be the eventual global code. Nusuk has it, and anything that goes into the clutches of Nusuk, then So now, don't worry too much about these details right now. I just want to give you an idea of what's happening, right? Well, let me give you a first overview. So this is the closest program that could be converted that's closest to us. Okay, that's closest to us, right? In every kind of detail. That would allow us to be together in Medina and in Mecca and in Azizia as well. However, we're going to work that out, whatever, we don't know, but it's not like, miles away. So we can work something out. And then, of course, together in Mina, Arafah, the key aspects of the Hajj. And then, of course, the dates matter as well, don't they? And so you'll see that this one technically starts one day before, right? Technically, this starts one day before. And that's going to be important because because obviously we're such a massive group, we take multiple trains to get to Mecca, right? Multiple coaches, multiple trains. And so when we split it up, this is actually going to work in our favor. So the group is going to be mixed up. I say mixed up is you have to understand it as a single group, but we obviously then split it up into buses and things like that. And so the group will be, whether they're in the global or whether they're the thingy, there's all going to be mixed up in most things, actually. And our departures and the like are going to be around here. And I'll give you a little comparison in a second. What I want to do whilst I have, because Shan is here, and I think that I want to prioritize him because he's a very busy man, and I want him whilst he's here. Ibrahim, you've given him everything, right? Yeah, there he is. Yeah. So what we're going to do is that there's Shan. Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Alaikum salam, Kata Sheikh.
I'm okay, man. Jazakallah khair for coming on. So we're going to just jump straight to Shan so he can actually give us a demo. Feel free to share your screen, show us essentially to fill you in. The main purpose of tonight's presentation was for people to understand the new global add-on to the original AE program. So all of the custom flights sold out. We converted a Sira package, and it hasn't gone live yet, but we obviously know all the details and what it's going to be. We don't know yet, as you know better than I do. We don't know yet whether it's going to show the remaining UK flights and the Mosafer button, or it's not something which we know yet. But regardless, it's aimed at the vast majority of them. 99% are going to be Americans and Canadians, and maybe 1 or 2 Europeans and Africans. So they wouldn't be going for the UK flights anyway. So they're all going to be going for the Mosafer button. So one thing that we have not done yet, okay, is that code actually live?
Not yet, but that's the intended code for when
that
things
is the
get,
intended code. Right.
That's the intended code.
Right. So what these folks have not done, even though they've been playing with Mosafer, trying to get used to it, get an idea, as per your advice, just generally, what they've not seen is whether the options inside of Mosafer are giving them anything different. So if you can take over and start presenting on what it looks like inside a package.
Sure. All right, just give me a sec. I just need to log in, and then I'll share my screen.
So, folks, after when Shan finishes, and everyone can ask questions as well, and we'll give him a few of, obviously, some of the conversations we've been having with you guys. We do know some of the airports, so we are going to play with San Francisco. We'll do Austin, Texas, San Francisco. We'll do Chicago. We'll do JFK as well, and just inside, so you can show what kind of options and whatever. Are you logged in? You ready?
Yeah, I'm just
okay. So you just click on that to the left of the microphone is the share screen button.
Yep. Let me just scroll up.
Do I need to come off screen with that for this to work?
I don't think so. Should be sharing my screen now, hopefully.
Yep, perfect. We can see it.
All right. So if I got something in my cart, I do. All right. So what I'm going to do, this particular package will be similar to your particular package that, from what I understand, will be both flights and also to be able to configure custom flights. So as you can see here, this is what it would look like. When you go into a particular package, the UK particular flights will show here, and then there'll be an option down the bottom here saying acknowledge and select a custom flight. Okay, so let me just, can everyone see this? This is the particular screen that you will see, right? Then you're going to click on acknowledge and select a flight. And then it's going to take you into the Mosafer system. And here we are. So one of the things that you want to do to begin with, to make things easier, sometimes you can just make it big. So you don't have to muck around with the scrolling. You want to collect multi-city because you want to arrive into Medina, given the way the package is, and exit from Jeddah. Right, that's going to probably be, but we can play around with it to see, is that the preferred option or not. So let's have a look. Typical. So Medina, and we are flying from, where did you say, JFK?
Let's start with San Francisco, SAF. And this is important, folks, okay? We're going to release a short codes for the airports, which make it easier to bring up. So I think it's SAF, isn't it?
SAF?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, sorry. It's not super responsive when I'm sharing on Teams.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Telegram. It's very convenient, but not very smooth.
All right, so Santa Fe? No?
Nope, I was wrong then. It wasn't SAF. SFO, maybe, I think it is. Maybe it's SFO. SFO, sorry, SFO.
All right. San Francisco to Medina.
Yep.
Okay. And then for return, Jeddah to SFO. Do these dates somewhat match similar to your dates anyway? 23rd?
Yeah. This is good. I mean, people might need to look at the 22nd and might need to go for leaving at the 11th.
That's why I chose this package, because I thought it'd be similar dates.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. That works.
And you're going to come to this next particular screen, which will show you. Alrighty.
They're all booking and we're all waiting. They're all booking and we're all waiting. They're all booking and we're all waiting.
You know the cue. You know the drill.
All right.
So there's filters on the left-hand side. If you want all baggage options, check baggage included. Generally speaking, all Qatar flights would have checked baggage, but you probably want to just click that just to make sure you get your baggage options included. And then here you have the relevant options and the prices that are coming up. And if you want to view the flight details, for example, to see if it matches what you're after, click on View Flight Details. And then you can see here, right, leaving on the 23rd of May, duration 15 hours, then 7-hour stopover, and then arriving on the 25th of May at 1 a.m. in the morning. Leaving Doha at 1 a.m. in the morning and arriving in Medina at 3 a.m. in the morning on the on the Sunday, the 25th of May. So you probably want to leave earlier than on the 22nd in order to try and get there on the 24th, for example, right? So that's a particular flight option that you have available. And then the return journey. Return journey, leaving at 4:50 a.m. So it's basically the first flight out after Hajj. And then you only got a 1-hour connection in Doha, and then you transit all the way back to San Francisco.
I just want sorry to interrupt you, Shan. And this is a really good example. Guys, I want you to look at this. Now, everybody that's going to be taking this particular package, this is an example. Obviously, I know some of you are coming from San Francisco. This has already shown you that, first of all, the Qatar price is a very, very good price. I mean, this is actually cheaper than the JFK flight that was originally part. The second lesson that you learned by looking at this is that you've already saved on the domestic flight that you would have taken from San Francisco to JFK, which itself would have been significant. And so you're now all within one itinerary. You have no problems, and your Zamzam will be transferred. I'm not saying that Mosafer flights are great, okay, because of the admin. Once you make the flight, you book it, it's going to be very difficult to get any changes done. I want to make that clear. But it is the best that you're going to get in this circumstance. However, this Qatar flight is screaming to be chosen. Everything is fantastic about it. But if you look at the times, this is on the global flight, an absolute must that you would not leave on the Friday. So if you just scroll up, Shan, arriving on the 25th is way too late, and you would want to do it the day before. So you want to leave on Thursday, the 22nd, okay, from San Francisco, the exact same flight, but Thursday. So it would arrive on the 24th morning because your hotel booking starts earlier. This would be us in the UK and in the original program. But for you folks, your hotel booking starts earlier. You must get there a day earlier. Otherwise, you're going to have less time in Medina. And that's so important for you to understand. So you would leave on this flight, but choose it for the Thursday. And if you go to the bottom, likewise in the leaving, this is, if you have a choice, if you have a choice, then to leave at 4:50 on the 10th, there's no need for you to put yourself through that extra stress. You would choose the 11th at 4:50. That would be a fantastic leaving time on the 11th. So this is a really good example of why you should be thinking around the dates of the 22nd, right, in terms of going, and on the return on the 11th, especially if it's a morning flight. Carry on. Sorry, Shan.
Yeah. So again, if you wanted to then make those changes and go to those different dates, then what you would do is you would go and modify, click on modify, and then click here on the 23rd. I click the 22nd, and then I'm clicking the 11th.
And this is why, folks, it's so important to play with Mosafer outside, because on the whole, the flights won't change. Prices might be different, but the flights, you should know beforehand. This is why the links that we've been sharing in the channel for Mosafer, for you to play around and understand the different flight options before you get to this, so that it doesn't surprise you and you don't have to then do this modifying while everyone's booked and we're still waiting, while everyone's booked and we're still waiting. We're never going to forgive you for that. And I can't even go to sleep at night time just thinking about that. Right, there you go. We've just learned that that's not even going to be an option. Right? So that's going to now lead you to now either change the 11th, or it's going to need you to go to the 23rd and keep the 11th. And that's the things that you're going to have to practice outside in Mosafer. You can't be practicing this inside, especially if we're not going to be given any time, which could be the case as it was last year. Phase 3 did not have an opportunity for us to play around with things. So regardless, this is the process, and for now we'll just choose the okay, there you go. So actually we only have the option of going the 23rd and coming back on the 10th. Might be one coming back on the 12th, but again, you should try that beforehand, so that no time is wasted.
Yeah, so let me just try maybe leaving on the 22nd, but
we've done that.
Coming back on the 10th. I didn't do the 22nd and 10th, so let me try that.
10, yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't do 22nd, 10. You're right, yeah.
No, doesn't like that either.
All right.
I'll just try the 12th and the 23rd just to see if that works. Because they do have that rule where you can't kind of come in a day before or more than a day before or a day after on your package.
Yeah. It is one day, is it?
Last year it was 1 day prior or 1 day after.
Right. So what that means, folks, just so that you know, this package, when it goes live, it will say the 23rd of May until the 11th of June. You can arrive at the 22nd. You can choose the 22nd and you can leave on the 12th. And remember, and I'll just make this clear now, that even though your accommodation starts on the 23rd, technically at 6 o'clock, because some of the team are going to be there that early, you're not going to have a problem. The luggage can be taken and, you can chill in the lobby and use XYZ. And it's very possible that a room or two might be ready early, but officially it's 6 o'clock. All right. And obviously we're going to be in a big group then messaging and making everything very clear anyway, but just so that you're aware. So on the arrival, the entrance into a hotel is obviously kind of restricted to the start time. On your exit, though, you don't have a problem. On your exit, you have no problem staying until the 12th. Your hotel actually is booked until the 20th of June. So you've got nothing to worry about on the return. But you want to be aiming 11th, 12th morning. That's the kind of rough one you want to be doing. So yeah, just choose any one of these, like that first one. That's great. And let's just move to the next thingy.
Do you want me to change and try from a different port?
No. I think that's fine. I think people would have worked that out. They just needed to see the.
So we then need to select the flight that we'd chosen. We select it. And then we click on I have read and agree. And then you click on submit. Oh, unticked it. Let me press it again.
Miles an hour. Yeah, it's always going to be the way with Telegram. Is there anyone that wants to ask questions specifically from Shan about the modification of flights of Mosafer? Then put your hands up. With that, give them the mic whilst we are just waiting for things.
So as you can see, it will say you have 5 minutes to complete the booking. What that means, it's not technically holding your booking ahead of everybody else for 5 minutes. What it means is the flight that you've now selected, the price, and your ability to take that seat on that flight is locked in for 5 minutes for you to complete the booking. And depending on how slow the system is running and so forth, you may need that time. And if you end up getting timed out by the time you get to the purchase, so you would then come to the transportation screen. You're then going to click
package transportation.
Yep.
With that, Afroz was wanting to ask a question.
Yes.
Afroz, please unmute yourself if you have a question.
Yeah, Shaykh. So I have a question. You probably covered it in your earlier, but I missed it because I have kids around. Anyway, the question I have is, what is the latest time that you need to get into Medina?
I'll cover that later. I'll cover that later, Afro. This is just about understanding how to get the flight. Okay, I'll cover that.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, carry on, Shan. Excellent.
Yeah. So now, obviously, you then got it. The flights are locked in here. You just need to make sure your wallet has been topped up accordingly. So when you're playing around with the prices and knowing what the prices are, maybe have a buffer of 1,000 up to 1,500 Saudi Riyals on the flights if you're able to, just to be safe in case there are any last minute kind of at that particular point in time. And therefore, you can then go in and secure your booking, inshallah, within that 5 minute window. If, for example, that 5 minute time's out, by the time you get to this screen and you haven't purchased it, you click on purchase package, it's going to then come up with the error that the flight is no longer available or configured or so forth. And you just have to go back 2 screens again to get to the flight section and then go through the whole process and click customize flights, right? And go through, inshallah, and be able to book to do your booking. So you come here.
Would it be at the flight part when it says the flight has gone, or would you have to go back to previous to get to it 2 times?
Yeah, you have to go back to previous.
Yeah. And just to show them that previous absolutely means the previous button and not the back. If you can just show them the difference.
Yeah, so you're not clicking here, right? You're not clicking here at all, because by doing this doesn't actually clear what's there before. So you would actually have to click on the previous button here, right? So if I, for example, had an issue with my rooming and I wanted to go back 4 screens, right, and did this, it wouldn't actually pick up the changes that have occurred in the system. based on my playing around with the system. So you would have to click on previous 4 times to get back to the rooming screen. And same with the flights, you would actually click previous from the purchase screen twice. The first screen is transportation. The second screen is now the flights. You would do your flights and then click on next and go back again and again.
Nice one, Shan. Yes, with that, yeah, go ahead.
Just jump in. I received a message from Hamza. He said that he was playing around with this. I don't know if this is an exceptional case or if it's pretty regular for this to happen, but he said he was playing around with it, and when it didn't show flights, he just clicked modify and searched again without changing the criteria. And then flights showed, even though it didn't show the previous time. When he clicked modify and searched again without changing any of the dates or anything, then the flights showed up on the second or third try. And he said he only tried that because he knew for a fact that there was a flight and he knew what to look for, basically. I don't know.
So that does make sense, but I wonder whether that's only because that's the full version outside of Nusuk. I think inside of Nusuk, I think, Shan, you have to go back, isn't it?
So I think the point that the sister was making from the pilgrim was that he clicked and the availability of the flight started showing again and again here. You know how we were searching the dates, in particular dates? Yeah. I think they're saying that if you searched again without changing anything, it came up. The previous is if your flight is no longer available at the purchase screen, you'd be clicking on previous to go back, share to what choice screens. But the point the sister is making, which we can just test now, is it showed no availability on the first attempt, right? But there was availability if you just click show flights again. So let's just test that out and just see. Am I correct, sister, in what you said?
He just messaged me again. He said, no, this was within Nusuk. I asked him to come on the mic, but he's saying he doesn't see the option to raise his hand.
Somehow he's got access. He's somehow found access to it. So as long as he's tried it, then that's good. That's the whole point, to play around with these little, quirks.
Hamza, I've unmuted you if you want to chime in here. Yourself.
Excellent.
So I knew there were flights available, and within Nusuk itself, the first time I searched it, it gave the same screen that you just showed with no flights available, and I literally just clicked modified and researched again within Nusuk, not Mosafer. And the reason I knew that is because
you checked it outside.
One, I checked it on the full website of Mosafer, but I also have seen those same flights within Nusuk. So
here you go. Up to the 22nd, it showed now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the homework actually is really helpful if you can, because otherwise, if I didn't know,
then you wouldn't have done it. Correct.
Then I wouldn't have.
And look at the price drop as well. Look at this. This is a significant point. It only cements everybody what we've been saying from the beginning. You must play around with Mosafer. When I spoke to people today on the phone, I was saying that, and some people had not even clicked on Mosafer, whereas other people had said, yeah, I've already written down all of my options and things like that. The people who prepare most, guys, are the ones who win at this game. It's really that simple. I mean, this is crazy. There's like 2,000-3,000 real savings and actually better times all the way around, all for being, knowing that, no, there is something there. I've got to, keep at it. So practically, what's the point we've learned here then? That when it shows as not there, you just do what? Press, modify, and search again. That's what he said, isn't it? Right, Hamza?
Yeah, modify and show flights without changing anything.
Without changing anything. Yeah, just go back and just force it, like almost to do like another search or something, and then it's obviously showing you things. So there you go, folks. Again, the benefit of
there you go, 11th on the way back now.
Yeah, so we've got new ones. There we go.
Here, the only thing I would say here, there's a warning. This flight is not allowed. Please refer to important information. So you can enter KSA from the 23rd of May until 6th of Dhul-Hijjah with any KSA airline, or from 23rd of May until 4th of Dhul-Hijjah with any other airline. Arrivals are permitted only at Jeddah or Medina airports. You can exit KSA 14th of Dhul-Hijjah, 10th of June.
So this package, do you remember what the last hotel was at? It was the 10th, right? Because this is fulfilling the 14th of Dhul-Hijjah rule. It's fulfilling the 4th of Dhul-Hijjah rule. Not have fulfilled is the actual date of the final day of the package, which that's not true as well. That's absolutely fine. So I have a feeling that the reason that this is not allowed is maybe not actually these reasons. Maybe this.
I'm choosing an Australian package as well, remember? So maybe it's got to do with the dates on the Australian package.
Maybe. So obviously, folks, be aware of that. But I don't think that that's going to be a problem. I don't think that's going to be a problem for the majority.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else got any questions for Shan? Miskeen is shattered. He needs a break.
I think the next
Safiya.
person, Ali Mohamed was next.
Okay.
And then Safiya. And if people can keep raising their hands, please, if you have questions for Shan, because it disappears quickly. So I need you to keep raising your hand, please. Ali Mohamed, please unmute yourself. Okay. Yeah.
Try restarting, Ali Mohamed. You're not able to unmute yourself. Safiya, go ahead.
Assalamu
alaikum.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because I was in Nusuk and I could see the May 22nd flight.
Right.
Also
so same thing as Hamza, basically. Same thing as Hamza. Do the research, do the practice, and keep pressing that search flights again and again. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Ali, yeah. Safiya, are you done?
Yeah, that's all.
Barakallah feek. Shukran. Go ahead, Ali. Yes, we can.
So in phase 2, when we were customizing our flights, the thing that we found out is that when you modify each time, the prices change also for the specific flight. So it's based in real time. So we had increases of like 4,000, 5,000 riyals at a time.
For the exact same flight within those few seconds, yeah?
Exact same flight. And as well is that your exit date has to be the same date as when your hotel booking. You can't leave the day later. It doesn't allow that.
It's not a day later. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe this package.
So if it ends on the 10th, you have to leave on the 10th.
Right. Well, so that's a good point, and Jazakallah khair for that's useful information. The good news is that this program, well, it's not this one that's on the screen, but the global package is leaving technically on 11th. Do you know, Ali, whether you can leave a day before?
You can leave a day before, but you can't leave after the last date.
That's fantastic. Well, the fact that what you've just said means that everybody going for the global package will, they're sorted, because the 11th, as I see in a minute, is the last date. So that means you've got the option of leaving on the 10th or the 11th, and the arrival, you already know. Good job, Ali.
Yeah,
well done.
And that matches with this particular package, because this particular package is only until the 10th of June.
Right.
Which is the 10th of June. It allows me to select a flight.
Right. Good. Any other questions, guys?
Travelux was next, and then Manal Mohamed. Please keep raising your hands, guys, if you have questions, because I don't see any hands raised now. Travelux.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. I have a question. I did all step you showed me for custom flight and keep it in my package. And you want to help me when you come in first 3 for check out, but show it me my bag. It's already for check out. Have to go again for step by step until choose the flight again, or the flight is keeping my flight.
Yeah, you what you mean is that you hadn't emptied your checkout from before, you mean?
No, my bag stay with first one, February 9, stays the same.
Yes.
My package.
Yes.
But showed me yesterday in check out. I'm go check out. Yes, I'm use custom fly, I choose what you showed me, Qatar, and choose everything, and show it to me, and ticket and flight and everything, and keep it. And my question, when you come in 19, whatever, 20, when you press, which one fast, easy for me? Press in bag, check out, or booking detail?
So yeah, you would click booking details, and it will take you to the flights page immediately, because that's how far you are throughout the process, and you will then go and do your custom flight, because you cannot configure and save a custom flight. You can configure and save a group flight. So let's have a look now. If I was to exit this particular booking, let me just say I'm going to select a custom flight. It's going to be Isha time soon by the time I finish Shaykh with this screen.
There you go. Bro, there's a lesson that we learned in these webinars. Never cuss Nusuk, bro. Never, ever cuss Nusuk. It will do you over so badly. It's a big lesson we've learned. Yeah, it crashed my whole computer last time when I called Nusuk's mum, and I started cursing his mum, and that's it. Then I paid for it heavily, bro. Anyway, we're definitely not going to wait for all that to load back again. Yeah. 100% we're not.
But you would click booking details, sister, and it will
Yes.
take you straight to the flights page. Don't click checkout.
Yes, check
Because-
out, but
because-
use it
because-
again. Use it
But,
again and check it
You
again,
need-
or the
you
keep
need
it.
to, no, you have to. It doesn't matter. You will be forced to. The reason you will be forced to have to go back again to the flights. This is why you might as well just click on the details and change. In the global packages, you cannot save a flight. You might choose one now and select it and then log out. But next time you log in, it will not give you that flight. Whatever you try to do, however you try to check out, you cannot save a custom. Because it's changing every minute. The price is changing every minute.
Yes, you're right. Because
So-
morning I checked is high
Yes.
price 16,000. Afternoon coming 11,000. You're right.
Yes. So live, when it goes
We
live,
live,
you're going
yes.
to do the thing there.
Booking, head booking.
Booking live. Yes, that's how it's going to be. And this also, by the way, everybody, is also a reason why actual helpers, the helpers that we have helping everybody, is not going to work for this type of approach, because it's not just pressing checkout for somebody. It's actually going, me going and making a decision on your behalf. Shall I choose the 9,000 flight or the 15,000 flight? It's no joke. You should self. So it's a different story to how a helper can help in a normal one. But Jazakumullah khair.
Yes, but I have a question. How can you know in this ticket I choose is available when you choose the same line? How can you know in this ticket I choose is available?
You know the screen that came up and it said we're processing.
Yes.
That is showing you that's available.
Jazakallah khair,
Barakallah fiqh. Final question to Manal, and then we're going to let Shan go.
Thank you.
Sorry, that was Manal. I think next is Travelux.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so I just wanted to basically reaffirm what Hamza did, what Hamza said about the modify feature. I did test it actually multiple times on the phase 1, and it works perfectly. And also just to know that you can't make a mistake with the date prior or after, because you will get an error that says the actual warning that says you can't choose this date. So really there's not much room of making a mistake. Just to assure brothers and
question: how did you see this custom flight option in phase 1 when it was on the 1400?
On phase 1, I'm not sure what package I was testing, but I was testing various packages.
Right.
By the way, I'm a travel advisor myself.
So there you go.
I was testing many options, and actually you do see, and of course, as what Sister just said previously, yes, it's not a matter of hours, it's a matter of seconds when you're actually testing the different flights, because someone might just be checking the same thing as you are. But it does enforce the speediest way of getting back to the itinerary that you previously saw in the list of all the itineraries. and you can literally mix whatever you want to mix from one city to another city. Open jaw, double open jaw. Yeah.
Barakallahu feek. Barakallahu feek. Shan, appreciate it, bro. Jazakallah khair, man.
You're welcome.
Nice one. Barakallahu feek. Yalla. Assalamu alaikum.
No.
Right, folks. So I'm going to go back then to show you what I was sharing. It was this. Okay. Are we good? Can we see?
Yeah, I can see that.
Right. Okay. So what I was saying is that what we've been able to do is to take over this basic package, and I do have a code now. Okay. And I will write it. I'll send it in the thing. It's exactly the same, but it says global, AE global, it says. So it's 1 second, where is it? So just received the code. And it is, I will just send that to Redditums. There we go. All right. It's basically the same thing. Anyway, I want you to look closely. Well, actually, don't worry about the itinerary for now. The facts. Where Dalla Taiba, same hotel, which is the most important thing. And this is the one that I went for because this is directly opposite our hotel in Mecca. It's essentially the same thing, right? I'll show you on the map. Anybody that's been up Jabal Umar knows that Hilton has 2 entrances. You have an entrance at the bottom, and then you have the grand entrance at the back, which is like massive doors, and all the coaches come. And the coaches all share 3 hotels, the Marriott, the Doubletree Hilton, and the Hilton Convention. And that middle part is our gathering area when we're going places, when we're going for our tours, our activities, when we're making moves. So the Doubletree Hilton works very well for us. And then in Azizia, the Aris, that's a hotel, or it's a thingy that we, again, if you're wanting to know why it is that I put forward this theory to AlBait, they accepted it. It's because the people in the rest of the camp are also UK, US, Canada folks. From a cultural point of view, it would have been a problem if it was other folks or whatever. And now we've got the prices. So this is really good news. Look at this, folks, yeah? The prices now are confirmed. Actually, sorry, I take that back. Actually, I do not know if the prices are confirmed. But these were the original prices. And I remember being told very, very clearly that the prices could not be changed. Right? Wait, what was I told? Was I told the prices can't be made cheaper, or was it they can't be changed? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember. I can't remember whether they said that it can't be changed or it can't be made cheaper. But it's something that can't be done with the prices. Nusuk won't allow it. So inshallah, this is the price here, which I don't know how much cheaper that is. Is that 2,000 cheaper? And 35 and 38, and that should offset the higher prices. So you saw some 10s, you saw some 9s. Yeah. Look at the London, the UK ticket. Yeah. That's a Manchester ticket. That's a London ticket. So it will help to offset. So I think that's a really good result. Okay. Everybody here should be really happy about the global plan. Obviously, more details will come out if we get the Nusuk link at some point. Now, having said that, I just want to now show you this. Just to give you an idea, this is the Hilton Convention. This is the Hilton Convention, and this is the Hilton Doubletree. This Hilton Convention, this map doesn't show it great, but see this little thing here? This is the Hilton Convention actually finishes here where my cursor is, and this is where the Doubletree starts. They're basically next to each other, okay? And you can check that yourself. So you've got nothing to worry about in the hotel side either. So that's another good result. And the final thing I want to show you is this. So this is the original program, okay? And this is the new one. And so I want you to understand how this will work. All of our group flights, the American and Canadian cohort start on the Friday, yeah? They leave on the Friday, I believe, right? Now, a common question that's being asked by even folks in phase 1 that got through in phase 1, and those, inshallah, of you that are going to get through in phase 3, sorry, should that happen whenever it happens, you will know that I said that it's good to take the Friday off. The tickets are confirmed, right? I just said to you that previously I have experience of, especially people like Turkish Airlines, they like changing things around and not caring one little jack diddly squat about what we say and how we complain. And so that's why I said you should always technically be ready to ask for another day off on the Friday, another day off, at the back end as well. But our tickets are confirmed for the original package, and that's just straightforward. Now, the Americans, Canadians set off on Friday, and they all start to arrive at the back end of Saturday, which is perfect because that's when check-in is. Okay, that's when the check-in is. The vast majority of us, though, we leave on the Saturday and we arrive on the Sunday morning, early doors on the Sunday morning. So I just want that to be clear. Now, I want you to know that as a result of that, we have major activities in Medina, right? 2 key pillars of our Hajj experience, right? 2 key pillars of our Hajj experience. That is our Quba experience and our Uhud experience. And we are going to be putting them from Sunday night until Tuesday morning early. This is the bracket that we're going to do them in. I want you to understand that. And the reason we're going to do them in is because we need to cover for the global program and that. Okay, that's not going to be a problem. That's how we did it last time as well. Last year, we did these activities in this bracket. So we're going to be together. So I just now want to just make a distinction between now the new one. Now, your hotel check-in. So our hotel check-in here in the original program starts at 6 o'clock on Saturday, 24th of May. Okay, everybody should come, from the afternoon onwards into Sunday morning. Your check-in here starts on Friday, the 23rd of May. And that Friday, 23rd of May, again, is in the afternoon. Anyone comes very early, they'll be able to attend the Jumu'ah prayer if they wish, if they can get there early enough, but they won't have access to the hotel yet until that afternoon. Your perfect arrival time, honestly, is Saturday morning or Friday night. That's what you should be targeting. Saturday morning, Friday, Friday night. And because your package date is the 23rd, you will not, I believe, you might struggle second, okay? You might struggle to arrive on the 22nd, but you won't have a problem in delaying it so that you arrive on the 24th. All of this now, don't worry about all of this. This is all going to be the same. We're all going to be together, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about any of this. I want you to focus here now, okay? This is the key. We have our flights starting on the 10th, okay? The vast majority of us are going to be leaving on the 10th and on the 11th, inshallah, which is going to be the 14th of the Hijjah, which is mean that we're going to have enough time to get all of the acts of Hajj done on the Monday, inshallah. Likewise, here, the Monday acts are going to be done here. Your package extends until here, but our program will finish on Tuesday morning. And so you are free to buy your return flight on the Tuesday afternoon. But honestly, Wednesday morning just allows you to have a much easier exit. Okay, so Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, this kind of area. Don't go for Tuesday morning if you can avoid it. I'm saying if you can avoid it. But I've told you guys before that if there's a significant financial saving, and I told some folks on the phone today as well, then, we're also leaving on the 10th in the morning, quite a few of us, right? And that's without any cost implications. So what about if someone says to you, you can save 3,000 riyals and leave on the Tuesday morning? I'm leaving that decision to you. But if there's all things considered, if there's no differences, then Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, Tuesday late night, Wednesday early morning, that's the kind of time that you want to target for your departure. You don't want to hang around too much afterwards, folks. Okay? So those are what I believe the things that you need to know and see. The code has been shared, I believe, in the chat, and then I'll write a post about it properly a little bit later. A2410U AEGLB for global. We will create, inshallah, a short link for that. It opens and we have some idea of how that works. Once we've created that short link, you can then have that open in a tab. Now, this is very important. The UK folks, you've all been given a very specific room to go for and an airport to go for. If it failed, then you know what to do. You know that if you went for a double, the instructions are clear. You then go for a quad. If you found that failed, then it might be that the package is sold out by then, technically, which is, I don't find that possible because everybody has been allocated and there's still space left over. But let's just say, London flights are out, then you're going to target Manchester flights. It's a free for all. But then I don't want you to panic. I want you then to go to the tabs that I said you got opened. And in one of those tabs, you'll have this global package open. So this is available to UK folks as well. This is available to UK folks as well. And so you can then go in there and then get one of their packages. And you don't have a strategy because you're not expected to go to that allocation. So you just go for whatever room type you want, and you go for whatever flight that you want to choose, as per what you just seen described and explained here. As for those folks in US and Canada, those that have expressed their commitment, please stick to it. Please stick to the strategy that we've given. We've nearly called all of you. We still have a few left to speak, and we're going to tell you very specifically. You asked for double, stick to double. You asked for triple, stick to triple. You asked for quad, the quad is yours. The flight now, you know what to do, and that's basically it. I'm pretty much. I don't think there's anything else. There's been no further updates on Nusuk of any sort. Yeah. So let's take some questions, inshallah.
I believe Farsin was next in line. Farsin, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Are you guys able
to? Okay, awesome. So we're in Canada and we're trying to play around with Nusuk. And a couple of days ago, Mosafer, and a couple of days ago was fine. But now when we search flights, so we're looking for multi-city and we're trying to book a short haul from Dubai to Madinah and then Jeddah back to Dubai. And now when we click search, it basically gives us error that something went wrong. And Omer has tried to, he's my brother, and we've tried multiple times and just no luck. So I'm not sure if anyone else is experiencing that.
So that's a question that you put in the chat, because we could hear in the webinar with other people, and I'm pretty sure that others will be able to give advice on that, those that have been playing around with it. And you heard obviously someone got some experience, so it'll be useful to hear about that. What I will say though is that one thing that Mosafer has shown is that when it says an error, it's not necessarily just an error. You sometimes need to stick to it. That's one option. The other option that I want to make clear is that the most popular flight and the ones that are going to absolutely go before everything else are those short haul Doha, Medina, Jeddah, Doha, Dubai, Medina, Jeddah, Dubai, Kuwait City, Medina, Jeddah, Kuwait City, Muscat to Medina, Jeddah, all of the Gulf short connections, which is a strategy which I have to say that I mentioned a couple of webinars ago is an important one to give yourself options. I was doing that. I was suggesting that because some of the prices were horrific, right? People posted, $4,000, $5,000. I said, that's absolute haram, it's stupid, prices. Just consider getting a short one and then getting your own flight to that city. Now, I want to say two things. Number one, obviously this is not the best option because you now created multiple itineraries. You have to check the baggage out. Flights will not be connected. So you'd have to then take all your baggage out and check it all back in again. Now, that's just a hassle. People will say on the way back, what about Zamzam? Your Zamzam will not be accepted on the flight from Dubai, for example, to Toronto that you bought yourself. It will not be accepted. You'd have to have luggage allowance left in your suitcase and put that Zamzam inside. But I mentioned this before. It would be insane to decide a decision on a ticket or a flight plan based upon Zamzam. Zamzam is freely available in Toronto, US, UK, doesn't cost very much at all. And whereas the flight strategy could save you hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds, and you would not even blink about not being able to take Zamzam or not. I know there's a big sentimental thing, but you can just put it into your suitcase as well and just take less junk back home, basically. So I just want to make that point there. But it's not convenient to have multiple itineraries. The second point that I want you to be aware of is that when it comes to my mind's gone completely blank about the second point that I wanted to mention about. Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. So the other consideration was then, upon further investigation, the prices on Mosafer were really good. So you saw there right now, live now. Obviously, I can't say anything about when phase 3 goes live, when Mosafer goes live, what the prices will be then. But you just saw a 7,000-8,000 ticket, right, from San Francisco all the way to Medina, back from Jeddah, all the way back with luggage included. That's a crazy good price. That's, first of all, cheaper than the JFK original flight. You've already got the package cheaper as well. And you've saved on the domestic flight from San Francisco to JFK and back. So you're actually saving like maybe a couple of $1,000, which is, so, and I gave Hamza a good piece of my mind because he's the one who scared the life out of me when he said, $4,000 or whatever it was. And it wasn't anywhere close to that. Now, in fairness to him, it does vary and it goes up and down, up and down. So I just want to say that my advice previously about consider a flight to the Gulf, which you can buy cheap from your own travel agent, and then buy the minimal ticket in Mosafer. It is a good plan to have in the background, and you should prepare for it. And in your notes, you should know the routes. Imperative to buy it now and to do it now is less because Mosafer prices sometimes are not so expensive. Therefore, it's better to have a connecting flight from Toronto all the way. And also, I want to say that I remember last year towards the end and towards the crunch part that even in Mosafer, the flight from Dubai to Thingy was starting to turn into $1,000, $1,500 stupid prices. So just want to put that out there. What do you think, Farsin?
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Jazakallah khair. We did look at the full.
Yeah, keep all options on the table. Always think outside the box. Always, think about that dates thing, right? So the 10th of return, you would consider a late 10th night. You'd consider an 11th as well because it allows you. Ali said that it won't allow you to buy the 12th. I think that was not the case last year. It allowed you to get one day after, but that makes more sense that it doesn't allow you to go any later. So you have the 11th team will still be here. You won't be left alone. Keep that kind of, and you might come a little bit later on the Saturday arrival, for example. Keep everything flexible, but the key is to do it all now on Mosafer.com, understanding all of the flights, put down Qatar and all the days, and create your own thingy. Hamza's got a flipping Google sheet. That's the way you do it. You have a Google sheet of all the dates, all the flights, all the thingies. You have it all mapped out. The people who prepare the most are the ones who are successful. It's really that simple. تيجي then Farsin, Jazakumullah khair. Barakallahu fiik. We'll take Zainab.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
I'm just trying to get my head around this phase 3. So is all our packages going? Because on my profile, my package is still there, my configuration. So is it going to go off?
Which one are you going for? You're going for the original from the UK?
Yeah, original from the UK, from London. So everything is there. But
yes.
So is have to configure again.
No, correct. As it stands, you don't need to. But what did I tell you happened last year? What happened last year is they wiped all the baskets, okay? And you have to learn how to do it again. Now, this is what we were doing before phase 1, if you remember, practicing, yes? So it's just back to that mode. And that's where your short links are going to become useful because, as I said, before you even log into Nusuk, you're going to have the tab open and you're going to have the package link. And the tab open, package link. Now, as it stands right now, there's no sense to that. You might say, what do I want to do that for? Well, here's the thing. When you log in your main screen and you look and your cart's empty, everyone's going to panic. They're going to go right back to dashboard, search, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to do that. You're just going to go to the next tab. Your package is already there. You can start configuring it directly. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little bit. Are we going to have a bit of a tutorial on that, Shaykh? Because
the tutorial has been sent. Yeah, the video that I sent earlier, Shan, did you see the YouTube that I sent a couple hours ago? Did you look at it?
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah. Did you see the part where he showed about short links? Go back. The AI on YouTube also has it there as well. But if you look at, there's a section which shows, and listen, if Nusuk allows us to get access to our package, all right, then I will show it directly myself anyway, right? So, meaning in a webinar, I'll show you how what that means. But because they're not allowed, I don't want to spend more lanat yani, but the point is that until we get access, which I don't think we will, the video that Shan did shows that having a tab open, another tab open, and having our short link. When I say the short link, I mean, there's hajwithae.com / AE, 2020 UK 2025. That short link, when it opens up our package. So that link you have in the next tab, it won't open the package unless you're logged into Nusuk. But once you log into Nusuk, having that ready and saved means that you can go straight to the package without having to go through the search, packages, type in AE, type in A4, blah, 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 blah. This is the point I'm trying to make. And obviously all of this is only relevant if they blank the baskets. If they don't blank the baskets, everybody in phase 1, all those folks that are planning for the UK allocation, the UK plan, okay, you just go straight to configure, to purchase, by the way. That's all you go straight. You guys have already stuck to the same plan. Unless we've called you and we've said to you, by the way, what you had originally is not going to work. You need to target this bed or that. If you don't get that phone call, you're sticking to your original plan and you're just checking out. If we've told you that you need to now change what you had before because all the triples are gone, you need to go for quad. You need to press back 4 times. You need to press previous to come to the rooming configuration. How will this happen, by the way? You'll come to your dashboard. You've got that package there. You press on the booking details. It will take you straight into the screen. You take it back to the rooming, change the rooming to quad, for example, if you've been told that. Then you press next, select package transportation, select this, that, next. And obviously the flight that you're meant to fly, you share, that's the right one, and then just check out. So both ways is set up for you. You should by now be ready. And like I said, if we get a chance, if Nusuk allow us to access our own packaging, which is crazy that we're saying this, then we will do a webinar. We'll call it like that, record it. Anybody who joins us will see it. Anybody who doesn't, they'll see the recording.
Because we've had a phone call, so would it make sense to just go and do it now and just wait again?
No, what do you mean? What does it make sense?
I don't know. We've asked. Yeah, we can access our thing, so we're just thinking, should we do it? Because we had a phone call.
No. What I'm saying is that you can access your dashboard. You can click on booking details and it shows you your thingy, but you can't change anything.
Oh, really? Okay, I haven't tried that.
Right, it's locked. Excellent.
I'm her husband, sorry. Yes, I got the call from one of your supporters today, and he advised me specifically about maybe changing the route from where we are currently to Manchester. So yes. I think I will go with his advice, because he advised specifically about changing from London to Manchester and a particular flight.
100%. Like I said, if you don't get a phone call, you're sticking to what you had before. If you got a phone call and it's telling you something specific, it's because our team has been working on the strategy, looking at the numbers. And when you're told to go for Manchester or X or Y or Z, then you are definitely going to have to reconfigure your basket anyway. And so going to pressing booking details, exactly like in the video, right? So the video that we shared a couple of hours ago, Shan, he shows exactly what to do, how to reconfigure your package very quickly. And that is what you're going to need to do in the UK. That's why for the UK folks, it's very important, that video. And then for the US, in the global plan, that video is also very important because it shows how to use Mosafer as well. But you've also just been given the Mosafer demo now, which doesn't apply so much for the UK folks. All right, guys?
Jazakallah.
All right, Wiyak. Barakallah feek.
Afroz, you can unmute yourself.
Afroz?
No. Hamza?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
So I just wanted to ask this question. Full package gets released, and assuming they let us save configuration, we can save up till the room configuration?
Yes.
Or we have from the beginning.
Correct.
Anyways.
You can save basically everything other than the flight. Even the flight itself, it will save, but it's 5 minutes. It's pointless. But yes, you can save everything. And that's why you would go on and play and save and configure. But when it comes to the flight, which is like penultimate stage, isn't it? So beforehand, it's all saved. But the flight itself is one that you'll do live each time.
Okay. Jazakallah.
Brilliant. Afroz, if you're still there.
Yeah. So Shaykh, I think my kid accidentally pressed it, but anyway, I'll go ahead and ask a question. It's a very silly one. You know how you said like 1400 UK is still open. Can US get in and buy those?
No. The reason you can't is the same reason that we couldn't use this new package as well, which is also a UK package. What did they do? They've basically taken it off and they've returned it into a package that doesn't have a passport restriction, right? And that's why all of the Americans and everybody else can access the new global package. Whereas the UK package, which has space, by the way, right? It could fit a few Americans as well, but you have to have a UK passport. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, got it.
You will not actually be able to even access it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, right now it's everything grayed out, so we didn't try it.
No, even if it's not grayed out, it won't allow you to actually configure it. So even when it goes live, it won't. Yeah. All right.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Excellent. Lutfi, I don't know where Tanveer is, but Lutfi, why don't you unmute yourself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Yeah. I was playing with Mosafer, right? From Washington, D.C. I think what I found, the Mosafer, like for the same flight, I ran it a couple of times. It's the multi-city. It's like not stable. Many times it gives me like something went wrong for not obvious reason, because it's the same date and it gives me that error message. It's just to make sure, like when it's going to open up, just to make sure if for any reason I'm going to experience the same difficulties, can I go with the direct flight? The direct flight, I tried many times. It's consistent. It's getting the same flight consistently.
Yes.
What I'm thinking, just to buy DC Jeddah, and after that, buy one-way flight from Jeddah to Medina. And I found it, the Saudi Arabia, they have a flight there, and it's not that expensive. And that's my plan. I'm not sure if that flight I can buy it. It's the same price with Mosafer or Google Flight. It's the same thing. I'm not required to buy it within when I do my purchase, right? When I do my package, try to buy my package, I try to focus what is the minimum to buy. And after that, when I get there, I have the option to buy a flight if it's available. Otherwise, I buy the train to go from Jeddah to Medina. That's what my plan.
So the plan is not a bad one. All right. It's not a bad one only if it is true that is going to be a problem. Now, I don't believe that there is going to be necessarily a problem for the multi-city option in Mosafer, inside Nusuk. However, put that aside. If you find that it is a lot more headache and a lot more expensive to go to Medina, and it's easier for you to go to Jeddah, then what I normally like to do, Lutfi, is that I like to assess the person that I'm speaking to, okay? And you know that all people are not the same. And first, there are some people that have not flown flown internationally by themselves. Yeah? Yeah? Now, I know you have, because we've been speaking, haven't we? So I know, but what I'm saying is that there are people that have not flown by themselves. And for those people, I would say, sorry, I don't want you to do this, because I cannot take responsibility. it's going to mess me up completely, and I have to lead a group and I have to be very clear-minded. And worrying about a person who's never flown before, and then having to... One thing you'll learn, Lutfi, from me is that I do not trust anybody and I do not rely upon anybody, even our own organizers. Even though AlBait are the best, but I like to keep everybody out of it and for my team to deal with everything. Here's the thing. AlBait have organized, and they did last year, for every person that in Jeddah to say, right, you need to go to Medina, okay, just go over there. They're all very, high vis, high identifiable, easy. Come this way, AlBait. And then they say, let's have a look. And you say, here we go. And they say, yep, go there. And then you have to wait for the rest of the people to come and jump on the bus. And in 5, 6 hours, 7, 8 hours, whatever it was, later they arrived in Medina. And there were a few people that did that. Other members of my group that had no option, they had some very restrictive scenarios. They did that. But I was saying to them that I wouldn't rely upon AlBait, even though you have a right and you have a space. And they did what you just said, which is they bought a train ticket. I had already spoken with them. There are people who have been to Saudi before. They have ability and confidence in buying these things. But it is a foreign country. It is very frustrating to deal with some of these people. It is incredibly hot. All of these ingredients, when you've not been given the soft landing of being with a group and your guides and the tarbiyah and the patience, if a person comes out, they can sometimes, they react in the wrong way, and it can become very stressful for that person. So what I'm saying is that I'm comfortable with you as an individual doing this, taking responsibility and charge for yourself, getting yourself to Medina, and then getting yourself to the Dalla Tayyiba. It's honestly, for any normal human being, it's the easiest thing in the world. It really is. But we can't take that risk. You know what I mean? So we don't. We want everybody to arrive into Medina. But when you give the scenario like you did, where there's a big financial difference, there's a big availability difference, then khalas, then come to Jeddah and just be in charge. Know one thing, by the way, that the train tickets sell out way in advance. This is something you need to know. Okay? Last year, there were no train tickets in the last, I think, 2 weeks, meaning that people, they're only people that were able to get the train tickets. And you'll see him in our group, by the way. He's one of the last year's folks. He was one of those that came on a global package, global version from Europe, and he bought his train ticket well in advance. And of course, you've got to realize that these train tickets are also a pain, because if your flight, first of all, your flight could be delayed or not, number one. Number two, the immigration at these at the airports can sometimes be half an hour to 3 hours, And so what you have to do is to buy your train ticket and plane ticket like 5, 6 hours in advance to be on the safe side. Now, if you think about that, if you cannot risk buying a train ticket or plane ticket in the immediate vicinity of 1, 2 hours of when you land, and you have to push it back 5, 6, 7 hours to be on the safe side, then you might want to ask yourself, was that really worth it? I could have just come straight out of the airport anytime, and I have a row of coaches that are waiting there to send me on my way. So this is stuff that we cover later, by the way. This is not important now. We cover all of these details and all of this, but I'm just at least letting you and the rest of the listeners know that there are options there. If you absolutely cannot come to Medina, then no problem. Go to Jeddah. We will try to work out a plan, inshallah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Barakallahu.
Please unmute yourself, Irfan, if you haven't already. Irfan, we can't hear you even though you're unmuted, so you might need to play around with your settings or exit and re-enter and raise your hand again. Try different things, see what works. Please unmute yourself, Samir. I don't see any other hands raised, by the way, so if you have a question.
Ali, go ahead.
Quick one. First about Mosafer. When in phase 2, it didn't allow us to book direct from the GCC country. It did not allow. Nothing would come up. So Dubai, Doha, Oman, Kuwait, if you're trying to fly directly into Jeddah or Medina, it did not allow. So you have to book a flight through there if you're going on like Emirates or Qatar through the GCC, but it wouldn't allow you to book a one-stop out of GCC.
When you say it wouldn't allow, what was the message that was coming up?
It would just show an error. It wouldn't. I've tried multiple times, but if you go to the Mosafer website, it allows you there. But within Nusuk, it doesn't allow it.
So I'll tell you something. It's interesting you say that because it was allowed last year, but we knew. But that was us Paks cracking the system. Yeah, obviously we knew that Nusuk / Mosafer were not happy that we were, doing them out of a bigger fare because they knew what we were doing, and we knew that they knew that we'd got our revenge. Put it that way. But there were noises about how they could stop that. So maybe this year they have. It's possible. Is that they've now actually completely not going to allow it. And Farsin, then that's very important news for you again, which would suggest that we can't rely upon the. You see the problem with that though, Ali. Actually, no. I was about to say to you, how about the expats then? What are they going to do if they live in Dubai?
I have no idea. Okay, the second question I have, Sheikh, is if we buy the global package, would you know the rooming availability on them?
Yes.
The different types.
Yes, absolutely. We know the rooming, and that's why everybody that filled in the future commitment form, they have been called and given the room to go for. You did fill in that form, didn't you?
No, so I need to fill that in today for myself and a friend of mine.
Yes, you need it right now, not today. You need to do that right now because the calling is coming to an end. So fill in that form. It's a couple of up, whatever it is. And you will be given phone call or a message or whatever of exactly what room to target. You should put down what you want to stay in, not about what you're flexible to. You say, this is where I want to go for, but if I have to, then I'll go for this. That's how you should word it. Is that clear?
Sure.
Well, you don't need to word it like that. You just go, that if you don't have that, then you're going to move to a different type. But I want you to put down your preferred room because the global does have the double, the triple, double, triple, quad. I think it's all allocated. I think triples are gone maybe, but
is the hotel in Azizia close to where you guys are staying?
So the actual distance we're not 100% sure, but as important as that was before, we are now reconsidering whether we would do a coach kind of transfer in or out. So distance would become irrelevant from that point of view, meaning that it would be a coach anyway, so the walk would be out because there's just no need for them. And I made AlBait agree to that wherever it is, whatever it is, whatever the location, it has to have that transport before. But the reason why that now might not be so important, not just because of the coach, but because I might be between both. I might go between both, make a decision of what we're going to do. So that's the idea to come out in the wash. Still got to work that out. Yeah.
And the package transportation for our flights on the way back, would that also be by coach or because we all be flying at different times? So
correct,
how would that?
Correct. That would also be that would be one of the logistical headaches for AlBait to sort out. One way or the other, something will have to happen. The good thing is that everybody will have their own ability, of course, to know that there will be plenty of taxis should there be an emergency. But it's upon us to try to get AlBait to put on a group option. But the reason why this is also not so important right now is that it actually last year transpired that for the custom flight people, it was far, far better for them to do individual transport. But again, this is something that will be organized, inshallah, by us in conjunction with AlBait.
All right. Jazakallah, Shaykh.
Barakallahu feek.
Amir, if you are there, please unmute yourself. Irfan.
No, I think my question's been answered. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallahu feek. Irfan, last go.
Maybe
no, we can't hear you.
Something connected. I don't know.
Anybody else? Anybody can see? Anything that I missed out?
I don't see any hands raised, and I don't think you've forgotten anything. At least from what I've heard.
One of the things that when I was speaking to a lot of people, there was a lot of concern about what happens when the group flight, sorry, not the group flight, the custom flight people get to Medina. What is going to be the process in terms of pickup, drop off? So there's a lot of concern around that. You can address that, please.
Yes. So the custom flight arrival to Medina is like a minor problem. That's the kind of problem that we want to have, right? Because you're in Medina. You're only 20 minutes away from the hotel. So whatever we do, it won't matter. Meaning whether we say, right, jump in a taxi, they'll reimburse it. The chief's going to come and he's going to tell everybody to wait for a coach, blah, blah, blah. In principle, AlBait will gather all the flights together, right, that are coming and start to fill coaches, because they can't obviously afford to send every single person in a taxi by themselves. The whole, you know, the finances of the situation is based upon, you know, putting people together in coaches. And in actual fact, if you've noticed, when it comes to allocations, if you saw Canada, 47, US, 47, UK, 446. These are all multiples of 47, which, surprise, surprise, are multiples of coaches, right? Everything to work to keep the price down is based upon coach transportation at every stage, at every single stage. And so all the people who are on custom flights, it is upon AlBait to take you from the airport to the hotel in a coach, and to take you from the coach to the airport in a coach. What I just mentioned to Ali was that last year, a lot of people said, you know what, I'd rather pay for my own taxi, because there are some advantages in that. I will tell you this much, okay? Especially when you know that you've got to be patient and fair. A coach, if it's got multiple flights coming in, it's going to have to wait for the coach to fill up before it can go. And there should be no complaining on anyone's side. That is the nature of how group travel works, Hajj travel works. This is not a private individual holiday. And that understanding is really important, folks. Let alone the patience, whatever, but just some aql being involved in. What am I involved in? I'm involved in a group activity where we move at the pace of the slowest, right? That's very important for me. This is a principle that not just applies in transport, but when we're in groups, when we're doing activities, when we're doing Q&A sessions. You know, there's someone who said, I'm going to ask you a silly question. There's no such thing as a silly question. There's no such thing. Not in my group, there isn't. Because the one who thinks it's a silly question is the one who says it, and there's another 200 people who think, thank God that she's asked it and I didn't ask it, because that's exactly what I wanted to know. So I just want to say that you don't need to worry. There will be a coach put on. You might need to wait and whatever. But here's the thing. Worst comes to worst. If you follow our instructions, we will take it out of the hands of AlBait. What does that mean? We don't have any ability to organize coaches. We don't have any logistical presence in Saudi, right? You'll see that some of the reasons why I changed some of the things in the program is to get away from logistical obligations like coaches and AlBait. And we like to do our own things. And that's why you rely on your own feet, right? But that's only possible in certain cases and certain places. One of the most important things is that if you fill in all of the forms that you're meant to fill in properly, we know exactly when you're arriving. And so far as you've seen, the one thing that we do is that we don't forget our people. So AlBait might not have Yani in their list, whatever, but we do. And as long as you follow our protocols, stay in our communication groups, this is not going to be a case where you're trying to dial a number to ask where everybody is. You're going to be in a Telegram group saying, guys, what's happening, man? I'm here. Nobody's here. What's happening? And we have a whole team where we're like, right, what's happening? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So you're in good hands, inshallah. No need to stress about that at all. Just focus on everything that I've said. Everything that I prioritize is what you guys should be prioritizing. Everything else which I understand you're worried about, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Tabuk, please unmute yourself if you have a question.
And then I saw Rania as well after that. Yeah. Tabuk, go ahead. Unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1. Tanya, go ahead. No, Tanya, sorry, Rania, beg your pardon.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Actually, I have 2 questions. Okay, I have a ticket to Dubai, and I am open from any country from the Gulf to go to Jeddah or to Medina. I don't have any problem. But my question is, when I buy the ticket, like if after the Hajj, can I stay in Jeddah, let us say, or in, because I have families to see?
Yes, you can stay in Jeddah, and you can buy your own ticket.
Yeah. So Mosafer is going to allow me?
No,
But I want to ask.
Mosafer is not going to allow you.
So where am I going to buy?
So actually, in this webinar, if you were there from the beginning, there's two big things that you should have learned. The first is that you are restricted by your Mosafer ticket.
Exactly.
Your return has to be on the day of the end of your hotel booking, which is in your case going to be the 11th. That's the first thing you've learned. Yeah.
Okay.
But the second more important thing that you learned, we don't know if this is for sure, but there's no reason why this isn't the case. What Ali Mohamed said, which is that Mosafer this year, if a person has a British passport or an American passport, it's going to block you being able to buy a flight on Mosafer from Dubai and Qatar and so on, this short kind of flight. Now, if this is true, and I say if because I've not heard of this, and normally we would be told about this by the senior people at AlBait, but if this is true, this is a very big development. It means that you're going to then have to rely on buying a Mosafer ticket from your original country, and you're either going to use it or you're going to burn it. What does that mean? You're buying the ticket so that you are able to basically legally buy the Hajj package, and then you're not going to use the ticket, and you're going to buy your own tickets. And if you were to buy your own tickets, you could then come in early and late, and you could leave late as well. You can leave late. You could leave 3-4 days later, 5 days later, because you're not going to use that Mosafer ticket. You're going to use a ticket that you buy separately. So this becomes an expensive thing to do, by the way. So this is obviously because you're going to have to buy 2 sets of tickets. One ticket which you're not going to use, and then one ticket which you are. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
You know, Sheikh, what I'm confused about? Because I'm buying the public
package,
ticket. Yeah, package. So when I just buy the package, when I go for the ticket, so it's not going to allow me like to buy from wherever it is. What's the use of the public
100%
package?
agree.
Honestly,
100% agree with you. It is a complete stupidity. The whole reason that a person should buy it, that should use Mosafer, is that it gives you the flexibility to come from where you want. If it's going to restrict not allowing you to buy the Dubai tickets, which is why in my head I find it difficult that they're going to do this. I'm just going to guess that this was some kind of error that Ali either saw, whatever. We will need to get this officially confirmed from Nusuk. Okay,
so
and we will just wait. I will raise it and we'll try to find out. But I can tell you that if you thought that Nusuk is bad, yani the management and the workers, but Mosafer is 10 times worse. They are the most useless organization and institution on planet Earth. They cause so much headache. I mean, the thingy, the customer service, which is absolutely not complete waste of time. So anyway, I'll try my best to get that point confirmed, inshallah, and I'll announce it, inshallah.
Okay. And my second question is, when I go to buy the package, because I don't know if I understand it well. You can go also for the other package and you configure it there. If you want to buy your own, you can make it like customized. Or
package or flight?
Package, yeah.
No, you can't customize any package.
It has to be like the public. I have to go for the public ones because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 public packages.
No, yeah. You can only choose one package at a time and deal with one package at a time.
Yes.
That's yeah.
Okay. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh.
Barakallah
Barakallah
feek.
feek.
Tabuk, one more time. If you are, then unmute yourself. Excellent. We can hear you. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes, Sheikh, I just went to my booking that I'd customized. I couldn't get through on the first attempt.
Phase one. Yeah.
Phase one. And just today when I was going through it, the flights. I don't know what happened, but the flights. When I clicked on the same flight that I had picked, according to the list that we were given the other day, it now takes me to the bottom of the page and it asks me to select a flight. And when I click there, it takes me to custom flights. And in custom flights, it's not giving my name, it's giving my son's name, Mohammed, and then it's giving us a flight from ABZ, that's Aberdeen. So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if it's playing around or
Yeah,
it's
I think
something
so.
that's.
I think it's playing around. I think there must be a glitch, and you might just need to just log out and just leave it. Nusuk has not been very stable.
Okay.
And regardless of all of this, don't get distracted by the problems in Nusuk from what you need to do. What you need to know is that whatever it shows, whatever it says, on the day itself when I log in, I know what to do. I will check whether the package is in my, I'll press booking details from my dashboard to go straight in. I will go for the flight that I've been told, the bed that I've been told, and I will then choose package transportation, and then, go and pay. If it's not letting me, if it's not doing anything, whatever, then at that moment, you realize that there's something that's gone wrong, which is not part of the normal kind of system. I will say this much, that if it's not allowing you to choose a flight on the day it goes live, it means that that flight is not available anymore. It was sold out. Then it's another flight that you need to consider. As it stands right now, though, you've just got to write it off as an error.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
Barakallahu feek. Barakallahu feek.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum. All right, guys. It seems like we're done. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khair. I will share whatever details that we get as soon as we get them. Really important for everybody to stick to their plans, please. Yeah, if you're changing plans, then just let us know that you're not going to come, you're doing something else, you're not going Hajj, you're choosing another thing. Let us know. But those that are serious, we will 100% get you in now in this plan, right? As long as, of course, phase 3 occurs, which I do think it will. When? I don't think it will be Wednesday. I doubt it now. But let's see. Tomorrow's going to be a key day. We will call an emergency webinar if it is announced and we have a date and we have access to Nusuk. If we have access to Nusuk, then there will be an emergency webinar so that for the global packages, especially, they can actually, global package, sorry, the new one, the AE global one, that we can actually make it a display. We'll go through it all so that everybody is confident and comfortable with all the options. All right, we'll do that live, inshallah. All right, guys. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka Allahumma wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.